Hello everybody, good evening. You might have been jamming to that music for a minute. I think my computer clock is like 3 minutes faster than the one on my phone, so depending on what your clock says, I might be a couple minutes late, a couple minutes, not sure. But I wanted to come in and spend some more time with you guys, and I figured I would play this game again because we were vibing last night, I think, according to my um oh my goodness, what's the word I'm looking for? According to my moderator, we were vibing, so I was into it. And who knows, maybe if I'm feeling it, we'll switch games in the middle. We'll see how long we're here. But I hope everyone had a good Monday. I know Mondays kind of suck sometimes, but hopefully everyone had a good Monday today. I almost had a heart attack because some random salesman came to my door. My husband looked up his shirt, and it was some home security firm apparently, so they were probably gonna try to sell me stuff. Luckily, I didn't answer the door. Because my mentality is, if I'm not expecting you and I don't know you, I don't answer the door. Hello. That's how I roll. Get on up here, lady, so I can take your order. Okay. Okay. Ah, double sprinklage. Okay. Well, especially, and I mean, not that I can't take care of myself, but especially if I'm home by myself and it's a man that comes to the door, it's like, probably not going to answer this, I don't think. If I don't know who it is. Oh, there we go. Because you never know in this day and age. And especially when it's salesmen, like a man or woman, if I can tell they're selling something, I don't answer the door because I want to be one of those people that would just go to the door and be like, F off, I don't want what you're selling, but I never am. Like, I feel this need to be polite, and then I end up listening to their whole shtick of whatever it is they're selling, and then it just gets awkward. So, it's a lot easier to just not answer the door. Yep, that's very true, too. And I think I said this last night, but this speed thing on this game is the worst of it. Like, I don't know who created this, but this does not work very well. I think we're doing good. We just been vibing and living life, and we were on here last night hanging out, had some good discussions while we were baking some cookies. And now we're back again. You do kind of zone out vibe to this music, don't you, if you sit there long enough? I had a feeling you were probably working or something, because you usually hop on with us. So I was like, she must be busy. So we were vibing. Got a couple new followers, which is always nice. It's almost done. It's so close. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, that is one thing I'm so thankful for with the job I have currently. Like, I could work on Sunday if I wanted. Like, if I wanted to do overtime, but it is not required that I work Saturday and Sunday, which I'm so happy about. Because that is one thing I definitely don't miss about some of the jobs I've had in the past. I don't miss having to work on the weekends. I don't understand how those fall, but anyway. Shake. Shaky, shake. Shake, shake. It's hard to finesse those when they don't quite fall right. He's doing pretty good. He streamed last night. He told me he was thinking about streaming tonight, but I don't see him on yet, so maybe he's contemplating what he wants to stream. But he streamed last night. I believe it was Final Fantasy 14, I want to say. Oh no, you got sucked into Power Wash again? Oh boy. Did you work today? Were you power washing while you worked? Alright, we're gonna switch and get this one first. So we need... I did not read whatever that message was at the top of the screen. My bad. Hopefully that was not important. I can't believe you were power washing while you were working. Did you mean to say, what the hell is this game? What is it called? Papa's Scooperia, I think. There's apparently a lot of them with different food entities, but I was just looking for something simple and fun to play and just came across this. I was actually looking up Flash games and this came up. I don't know if this is... That's okay. I don't know if this is technically a Flash game, but it came up when I searched that. Because I was thinking about another game that... I think I talked about it last night, that I have debated playing, but I wasn't sure. And I was like, oh, that's a Flash game. I wonder what other Flash games I could find. Well, that's good at least. Yeah, that would be bad if you didn't get your work done because you were too busy power washing. I tend to do that sometimes. I've been known to think a time or two. On a side note, not that I care too much, but I guess the Met Gala is going on tonight. I keep seeing pictures of people's outfits. I understand that's supporting like an art gallery or whatever it supports, but that just seems like a lot of money for a bunch of people to sit around in slightly strange outfits and eat some overpriced food. Yeah, the baking is super slow. Like, even with that, it's interesting. Even with that upgrade button at the bottom, it's still really slow. So it's almost not worth it to use it, honestly. Which is weird, because usually with games like this, the upgrades are decent when you can get them. But I noticed that last night. So we spent a lot of time chatting in between these cookies baking. Because it takes a long time. And apparently there's some cookies that cook faster than others. Like that one on the right is going to cook faster because it's turned orange. We baked cookies and stuff for almost 2 hours. We were vibing. As Spirit said, we were vibing to the music and chilling. Having a good old time. Don't know if we'll vibe that long tonight. I guess we'll just see if we're feeling it. That's why I kind of went ahead and started a little bit earlier than I usually do on Monday nights, because I think I usually start at like, what, 8 something, 9 something. somewhere around there. So I thought, well, just in case. We'll see what we're feeling. But yeah, I talked about it yesterday, but the flash game I was thinking about was this old scary flash game that a friend of mine introduced me to, and it's really great. It still scares me to this day. So I just don't know if I could play it on a stream. I don't want to embarrass myself. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm feeling brave one of these times. I feel like if I did play it, it would have to be in a stream that I do like during the day, so I have the safety of the daylight to comfort me, because I am a child. But it was very scary. And the sequel was very scary. They were both very scary. Oh yeah. At least so far. We'll see what happens. I was so happy to see we got a new follower last night during the stream, and then I woke up and checked today, and we got two other followers after the stream. So maybe they were hanging out in the background and just didn't engage with us last night, but decided we were vibing. So yes. I know I've already done dinner for the evening. I don't know if Spirit has, but I started cooking before Prometheus got home. I usually do. Started cooking at like 4 o'clock, I think. Because during the weekday, I like for us to be able to eat a little early. Ah, so you guys did breakfast for dinner. I haven't done that in a while. Now that I have like 60 eggs, maybe I should. Speaking of, I need to finish freezing that last carton of eggs so I can take those back to my dad to give back to the free egg lady. I don't know who she is, but bless her. I'm sorry. I don't know what that sound was. Pardon me. That was a weird sound that I just made. I had the most horrible thing happen when I was finishing dinner tonight, and I don't want to be too gross, so excuse me if this is too gross. But do you ever eat something and, like, something about the bite just, what am I trying to say? Do you ever eat something and, like, the bite just sits wrong in your mouth and it just activates your throw up response? Is that the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to describe it and not be too gross. Hopefully that makes sense. But anyway, that happened to me tonight. It was horrible. I was just like, no, please no. I don't want that. That is the last thing that I want in life. Especially after I've just eaten. Sorry if that's an overshare. Okay, and But yeah, as I was saying last night, since I've been playing a bunch of different games lately, like, I don't know, like nothing in my library, like my go-tos are just not striking my fancy. Like I'll go to stream and I'm just like, no, that sounds good. And then I go looking for other stuff, so. Not that the old staples aren't good too, and not like I'm gonna stop playing those, but hopefully the eclectic variety doesn't, oops. Hopefully the eclectic variety doesn't, scare people away too much. I'm just glad today was a chill day at work for a Monday. Thank goodness. Although, you know how you always have those people at work, they're like, I want you to do stuff faster just because, and those people don't understand how your department works or like how it functions or what's going on that day in your department. We had someone like making a comment like that today, and all of us were just like, come on, man. Like they wanted something done by a specific time, and it's just like, you don't know that there's people absent. You don't know that there's people on projects. You don't know if there's people that there's people that have internet issues. Like you have this lovely expectation in your head, and you have no clue what's going on over here. So just like, you can keep that expectation all to yourself. Which is what we all agreed upon. We were like, yeah, that's just a suggestion and not a command. So if it gets done, it gets done. If it don't, it don't. Well, I should say if it gets done by the time. Because it got done. It just didn't get done by the time that they hoped it would, as they said. But despite that, not a bad Monday though. And I will say ahead of time, this Sunday I will not be streaming because I will be out of town. So absolutely. But I will be out of town this Sunday. I will hopefully be streaming next Monday as usual, but I will not be on Sunday because I will not be here. So I will not have access to my streaming equipment. So just in case anybody's wondering, since Sunday and Monday have been my go-to recently, I will be out of town. Correct. If I'm able to do a makeup day, we'll see. I haven't decided yet. I usually don't end up doing makeup days if I miss them, but we shall see. Because the problem with makeup days is then you got to try to fit them into the schedule where they wouldn't normally be. So it really depends. Because Thursday and Friday don't really work for Prometheus and I because we go to the gym. And then Wednesday, Spirit and her husband and Prometheus and me will have our weekly dinner get-togethers where we get together, and it's our turn. So I will be cooking then, or we will be cooking, I should say. So yeah, if I do try to make up, I guess it will probably maybe be on the weekend, but that's also tough because we are helping my brother's, excuse me, not my brother, thinking of the wrong person. We're helping my husband's sister, excuse me, move on Saturday. So, yeah, it'll be iffy. We'll see. Needless to say, stuff is going on. I hate when your brain does that when you're thinking of a person, but then the wires get crossed and the wrong word comes out. Like you know who you're meaning, but your brain's like, did you mean this person? And then it comes out all weird. Annoying. We were planning to when it's our turn again, so not this upcoming Wednesday since I'll be out of town, but the Wednesday after that. Um, we were planning to barbecue since it's been nice. So probably hamburgers and hot dogs. Gonna keep it simple. Maybe some mac and cheese. Especially since we got kiddos to worry about and worry about them eating it, so we're not gonna be too difficult. We'll have to go get some hamburgers though, because we only bought the hot dogs on our last shopping trip. Because I was like, well, let's wait, just in case anything else came up. Which maybe I'll get them when I'm with my dad when I'm out of town. He's gonna take me to this awesome store that they found. That's like a store. Oh, that's awesome. It's like a store that used to be open in our hometown that closed really recently, which makes me sad. But it's in Iowa, so we're gonna be driving like an hour and a half. But he and my stepmom suggested it, and I was like, okay. Because whenever I go out of town and I visit, we always end up doing like a dad-daughter activity on Saturday. So I guess that's gonna be our activity. We're gonna go to an awesome store an hour and a half away in another state. But I don't mind that because I miss spending time with my dad because I lived with him up until I got married, and I miss seeing him every day and spending time with him. So I'm okay with that. Ooh, sorry. Really, ma'am? Really? I know. As I've gotten into my old age, I love grocery shopping too because we're literally like it's not even a store with anything fun. It's literally like a grocery store. Like they carry which Spirit will probably know what I'm talking about, but it's like that Dutch country store that we had in town that closed unfortunately. It's like that. So it's like a store that sells a lot of Amish products, which are awesome. And I've already been on their website and kind of gandered at some stuff that I'm interested in. Because, yeah, that store that we used to have in our hometown, like, I would go there to buy spices and stuff when I needed spices and everything. So I'm really sad that they closed. I hope it's not permanent. Because I know there was some kind of issue going on, so I really hope that they end up opening back up again. Oh, yeah. We plan out, I think Spirit does it too, but we plan out like 2 weeks in advance. Like when it's about to be payday, we plan 2 weeks ahead of meals and then go shopping. Okay. Can do. I was gonna say you can look, and if you see anything that you want, you can float me the monies, and I'll pick it up for you while I'm up there. They've got some pretty interesting stuff because they've got some stuff that I'm very curious about trying. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, so Spirit does a little different than I do. I do like 2 weeks in advance, and then we grocery shop. Um, Usually around the Friday because my husband and I both get paid the same week, but not the same day. So we usually do it around Friday. Mm, this is going to sound terrible because we eat them, but usually I don't have fruits and vegetables on my list, so it's not a problem. But yeah, I can understand that. Because sometimes they're not paying attention when they pick stuff, and it's just like, what is this that you've chosen for me? Steven. I have no idea what that is. Something. Something people are gonna order, I guess. Our wicked awesome decorated store. Ah. Alright. Let's see what he's ordering today. Okay. I was looking at what we need for affiliate on this channel, guys. And obviously, we still need some more followers. That's a given. Looks like we need followers and just slightly higher average viewership. Which I think we're working on. Hopefully one of these days someone will, because I think it's only happened one time, if I remember correctly. Hopefully one of these days someone will think we're, awesome enough to hop in and raid one of these nights. Because I always, except for a couple instances, like last night, for example, I usually raid somebody. But I think I've only been raided like one time. So hopefully that happens some more, and that'll help a little bit. Because our average viewership is just slightly lower than what they require. So hopefully we get there. We're trucking along. Slowly but surely. I feel like considering I started this in December and it's now May, I feel like we're not doing too bad. Obviously, if I was on here more during the week, it might be progressing faster, but for someone like me who's kind of getting into the groove and slowly trucking along, I think we're not doing too bad. As we wait for this one cookie. That's a silly reason to laugh at somebody. Like, you're saving money bringing your lunch from home. What the heck? People are dumb. If you laugh at somebody for bringing their lunch from home, that's dumb. You're dumb for doing that. You might not be a dumb person in general, but you're dumb for doing that, right? Yeah, I do too for Prometheus. At least I try to most of the time. Like every once in a while it doesn't happen, but yeah. Every once in a while it doesn't happen, but for the most part we usually have leftovers, and he'll take leftovers from like dinner the night before for lunch or whatever. Ain't nothing wrong with like store brand or whatever otherwise. Like, I don't know. People are snobs sometimes. It is unnecessary. It's a little messy, but it's all the stuff you wanted. Yeah. I've got to figure out, like, because I know some of these customers give, like, low scores even though I do the same thing that I do for the other customers. There must be some finesse that I don't understand about making the stuff in this game to get those anal people to give you more points. There must be something I don't understand. Yeah, I feel like I've been taking my lunch to work forever, which, or I was taking it forever, when I didn't work from home. Obviously, now that I work from home, I don't gotta think about it, but when I didn't work from home, I feel like most of the time I tried to take my lunch. Every once in a while back in the day I wouldn't, but for the most part I would. Ah, memories. Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, and especially Spirit and I, we're trying to save money where we can, since we're going on vacation in October together with our hubbies and their kiddos. So the more money, the better that we're able to save. I'm so sad, guys. There's a concert I really wanted to go to that's happening on Friday, and I never was able to get tickets, even though I went into the pre-sales. They just sold out in like 2 seconds. And even though I've checked periodically throughout the months since they went on sale, I've never been able to get any tickets. I'm so sad. Hopefully one day fate will be on my side. Come on, cookies. Good thing these people that are coming to eat here are patient, since our oven is apparently as slow as molasses. Oh, that's awesome. Mine unfortunately isn't a surprise, but I feel like it's nice to I feel like it's nice though, because then they don't have to worry about buying something for lunch, you know? And they know it's something that they enjoy that you made. Which is always good. Alright. You know what's gonna suck though? Which I'll have to look into it to see if I'm able to. But at the moment, I am unable to save on this game, so if the window closes, I'm just gonna lose all my progress, y'all, and we'll just have to start over. What topping did I just scoop? Okay. My brain got distracted for a second, and I was like, wait a minute. What did I just scoop? I hate when that happens. You're just like, I was paying attention, but I autopiloted that, and now I don't know what I did. Oh my goodness. I've been fighting the urge to watch a couple shows because I just keep slowly getting influenced. Mostly by TikTok videos. Because I don't know how everybody else is when watching new shows, but for me, like, if the plot's not immensely interesting. Sorry, I was leaning out frame for a second. If the plot's not immensely interesting, then the characters have to be interesting to me. And sometimes it takes a minute. They have to grow on me. And mostly on TikTok, it seems like I'll just get videos of certain shows and whatnot. And it'll just slowly influence me because at first I'll be like, I'm not really interested. And then I'll just slowly see more clips and then it'll be like, damn it. Now I have to look into this because now I'm intrigued. Oh, man. I think I've had a TikTok since, shoot, when did I get TikTok? 2020 maybe? I don't know. Somewhere around there. That sounds about right. Because I know it was during a pandemic time. Pandemic time. A great time to work from home, which was nice. Not a great time to work for an insurance company. That was terrible. If I had had a streaming setup, then it would have been really hard to stream because I was constantly having to talk myself down from a horrible rage after work. It's nice not to do that now. Yeah, I remember that. That's true. But whose fault is that, ma'am? Y'all did that. Yeah, it pretty much did. I definitely feel bad for my husband in that sense because, like, he had a whole lovely proposal planned out to propose to me, and it got ruined by the pandemic. And which is very nice. He didn't want to wait till all that was over to propose, so he just ended up proposing when he was visiting, when we were celebrating his birthday, when I lived at home. he just proposed there, but I felt so bad for him because he told me later like what his whole plan was, and I was like, I'm so sad he didn't get to do that. He had a whole plan. Well, I guess we can. I guess we can forgive that. Ta-ta! Wonderful. Let's see. We need some vanilla. I was really upset because I had an overseas trip that was all booked and paid for, and then they postponed it for 2 years. And then when they finally decided to go through with it in 2022, guess what week it was? The week I was on my honeymoon after I got married. So I still couldn't have gone. I don't blame my husband for that in any way, shape, or form, but I'm so salty about it because I wanted to go so bad, and then COVID happened, and they canceled it and rescheduled it for 2 years. And then when they finally did it, it was the week of my honeymoon, and I was like, of course. Of course. Just fate punching me in the face. And that would have been an awesome trip, too, because I would have gone to like 3 countries in one trip that I really wanted to go to. And it would have been awesome. And COVID jacked it up for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, COVID was just a weird, horrible time that hopefully, knock wood, but hopefully we don't have to experience anything like that again in our lifetimes, because it was terrible. Which, let's not get too serious up in here, because that's a serious topic, so we don't want to get too deep, but yeah, it was a terrible time. Hopefully it doesn't happen again in our lifetime, because... Ah, lucky, lucky. We were all not so lucky in that regard, but luckily all of us in our little group were vaccinated, so that helped. Yep, so did we. From where, I've got no clue, but... It is not a fun time. Do not recommend. I feel like, unfortunately for us, it's going to be one of those things that's going to be around like the common cold now, and it's just going to be there, you know. But luckily, it doesn't have to be a life-threatening thing anymore. But anywho. Yeah, lucky for me, I'd already been working from home for quite a few years before all that happened, so during the worst time of it, I didn't have to worry because I was not out and about. The only time I went out was like to get groceries if I had to like pick up groceries if they weren't getting delivered. That was pretty much it. Push the shiny button. You're talking about the go faster button. I'm already pushing it. This is the only negative I can see about this game so far. Like, I like it and it's very relaxing, but the amount of time it takes to cook these cookies, bro. like, why is this taking so long, man? What kind of oven do we have? Why is it so slow? This game just requires a mouse, so no keyboard involved, just mouse for this. Mm-hmm. The good old days. When you worked at you know where. It's like Voldemort, we don't like to say the name. Nope, no more of that. She's done. She's retired from that. Which at least now I know, unlike before, if I plan any vacations in the future with her, that won't suddenly pop up and be a problem, will it, ma'am? I'm still laughing at that. And I'm also sad because it would have been an awesome vacation to go on together, but it's still amusing. Especially considering we literally made a joke about it. And then it happened. Oh, don't even say that. We don't want that juju. Mm-mm. Nope. We shall not wish that juju upon anyone. Mm-mm. Hopefully not. Alright, let's see. It's almost payday. Woohoo! Oh, Oregon Trail again? We were so successful the first time. So then the question is, if I were to play that again, do I need to deliberately pick different stuff on purpose? That will be so difficult now that I kind of know the strategy. I'm kind of mad I never figured out that strategy when I was a kid, because as I stated when we played on the stream, I played that as a kid so many times in computer lab in elementary school, and I never got to the end. And it's just like, how did I never figure out, like, do the banker so you have the most money, and then pick this, that, and the third? Like, I don't know how I never figured that out. can consider it. We'll see what the vibe is. I never want to promise anything for sure, because like I said, I gotta be in the groove. So I gotta sit down and be like, I want to play Oregon Trail. Is there more than one Oregon Trail? Doesn't that have a sequel? I'll have to look into that. Because maybe we can look into that too, like playing the other ones. I could swear that there was a sequel to Oregon Trail. Don't ask me. I was a stupid child, apparently. Although I will say, I also think part of the problem was since we played it in computer lab at school. And I don't know if you guys had computer lab, but we had computer lab, and the problem was you only got a certain, and obviously there was no save files either, because you weren't allowed to save stuff on the computer. You only got a certain amount of time to play. It was usually like 30 minutes, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. So that didn't help, because I was on a time crunch. So I couldn't really sit there and weigh my decisions in a timely fashion. So I'm sure there were a lot of factors that constituted as to why I never beat Oregon Trail as a kid. Because if I was able to sit at home and... Yeah, we weren't that fortunate. Like, if I was able to sit at home and think about it for however long I needed to think about it, I may have been able to figure it out. But when you're trying to get through as much of it as you can in the 30 minutes that you have allotted before you have to give up the computer to somebody else, knowing that you're going to have to start over the next time, kind of stressful. Kind of stressful. Yeah, we couldn't for some reason. I don't know why that is, by the way. That is a question for the powers that be at the time. Probably. You know what's another game that I used to play at Computer Lab that I would love to... I don't remember, like, how you played it, but I remember it. The, minus, like, the Freddy the Fish games and Putt-Putt and stuff, because we played those too. But, does anyone remember the Carmen Sandiego games? Like, Where in the World's Carmen Sandiego? We used to play that. That one I very rarely got to play, because that was Computer Lab in, like, a certain class. But that one was awesome as well. And that's another one that I don't think I ever got to finish. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Something happened there. I don't know what happens when you're in a class of 30 and only 3 people pass. As much as I know, especially with history class, some of the stuff was not accurate. Like, when I think of, like, history class and stuff in elementary school, I just have fond memories of it, like the stuff you used to do. No, why did only 3 people pass? Ta-da! Let's see. Oh no. I didn't want to go there. My goodness. That's terrible. Alright, let's see. Okay, so we need this one first. Right? Yeah, that's definitely a firing offense. My goodness. Is that? Yeah, that's a regular cookie. Alright. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that it seems like goes on in schools. People are a hot. I feel like public school's a hot mess. I feel like everybody is like chomping at the bit to get out, and so it makes them do crazy stuff. Because I remember at our school, I don't know if it happened every year, but there were definitely a couple years there in high school where like it would get towards the end of the year and people would be picking fights just for no reason, just out of nowhere. They'd just be picking fights. And it's just like, we're almost done, y'all. Like, it's almost summer or it's almost time for us to graduate. Like, is this really necessary? Like, I remember one class I had, which was ironic because we had, I guess they were called childcare classes, but they were classes where you could go and, like, shadow at, like, daycare centers and stuff, like, for the class. Like, that was the whole thing. And, you know, they supposedly looked in the student histories for, like, if you had any violence or if you'd ever had suspensions or anything like that. I feel like that wasn't true because the class I ended up in had quite a few people. Yeah, we had a few there too. The class that I ended up in was always quite a few people that I knew 100% had been in fights and had been suspended, so I don't know how they got in the class. But anyway, we would have to sit in this stairwell every day and wait for the bus to come to take us to our respective, you know, schools or daycares or wherever we were going. And one day we were all just sitting there minding our business, and one of the girls in the class came up, and there was a girl behind her, and they were talking rather loudly, but I don't think any of us thought anything of it at the time. And all of a sudden, she just started wailing on her, like it just became a full-blown fight in the stairwell. Like bloody noses, hair pulling, and everything. And it was just like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, and I hate that when you're in school, like, because once you get out of school, none of that matters, right? It doesn't matter who is popular, like, none of that matters. And I hate that while you're in school, like, that is your universe. And, like, that encompasses your reality. And so everything seems way more important than it is. Because people are petty. It's a cheap shot. But I wish that didn't happen to people that are in public school. Like, I wish you could see beyond it. Like, as someone who had that problem too, Like, it's your whole universe when you're there. But you're not thinking about the fact that it's like, once I get out of here, none of this stuff matters. None of this stuff people said about me matters. None of these boys that we were fighting over, like, none of it matters. And it's just so ridiculous. The stuff people would get in trouble for like this environment that we're only going to be in temporarily. And it's just public school, I feel like, because college, like I went to, and it's funny because I went to college in the same town that I went to to public school in. And my college experience was awesome. Like, my college has asked me to come back and do art shows and stuff before. I happily have, because I had a good experience in college and I didn't hate it. Whereas public school, they couldn't pay me enough to come back and do anything if they asked. I would never. You couldn't pay me enough. Like, if someone came to me and said, I will pay off all your debt and give you $1 million on top of that if you would be willing to go through high school again, I couldn't do it. Because it was ridiculous. Like, the environment of it is just ridiculous. Like, you couldn't pay me enough to go through that hot mess again. And there have been a couple times when I've been visiting at home and, like, I haven't, well, I've been back in the school. Like, there was a few visits ago I went and they were having some kind of, oh, what do you call it? Not a garage sale, but like a sale where they were selling stuff. Mm-hmm. And we went back into, like, the cafeteria and I'm just looking around and I'm like, like, the disgust that I felt just standing there. Like, I'm looking around, taking in stuff that they've changed and all that, and I don't even care. I'm just like, I don't want to be in this building right now. This is awful. And that's not even getting into, like, the horrible thing of, like, you know, teachers that, whether they wanted to admit it or not, they showed favoritism and ignored things. Like, there's just so much stuff in the school hierarchy that is ridiculous in public school. I'm not saying all public schools are bad, but, and I think Spirit will agree, ours was not great as far as the high school goes. We can't comment on each other's middle school and elementary school experiences because we were in a totally different place, but high school, I think we can agree, was terrible. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. There were a couple gyms in there. Like, I can think of a couple teachers that weren't bad, but the problem with that is, like, you had the good ones. But when I think of high school, I think of the bad ones. Like, they've just kind of ruined it for me. Because there were definitely a few good ones in there, for sure. And some of the bad teachers, which I know some of them are still there, ones that we had. Like, there's a specific one that I'm thinking of in my mind that I know is still there. And hopefully for the student's sake that she has now, she's changed and she's not the same as she was. But, you know, I feel bad for the kids that have to deal with those teachers that'll just stand by and watch things happen and do nothing. Ah, school dances. I remember those. I only went to, like, not counting prom, I think I only went to maybe one or two in high school, but I definitely remember those in middle school and they were awesome. Did they have school dances at your school, Spirit, before high school? Was that a thing, or was that a thing that y'all didn't do? Was that considered too much? You did have school dances? Okay. I always wondered if that school you went to... Oh, just high school? Okay. So you didn't have them at your previous school that you were in for middle school and stuff. Okay. I always wondered if that was a thing that they did, and I never thought about it, or thought to ask, because it would come to my mind at weird times. I definitely have fond memories of, like, Well, I didn't go to as many dances as you did, but senior prom was good. That was fun. Minus my date at the time, but everything else was fun. Oh, yours wasn't good. Ours was pretty good. What was the what was our senior prom theme? Well, I say our. I know you had a different one, Spirit, because you were a year behind. What was that? What was my senior prom theme? I want to say it was like Mardi Gras or something. Gee, I wonder who that could have been. I want to say it was like Mardi Gras something for my senior prom, but it was good. Did you go to your senior prom, Spirit? Surely you did, right? You guys went. I'm sorry, I can't remember. There were so many freaking dances. I assume you did. I don't remember what my junior prom theme was, but I'm pretty sure senior prom was like, I remember Mardi Gras-esque things, like beads and stuff. Spirit knows what I'm talking about. You were at that one, weren't you? I think. Weren't you? You were at my senior prom, weren't you? You went, didn't you? I feel like I have memories of that. The 2007 one. Did you go to that one? I feel like I remember you being there. But I know that your hubby was like a year ahead of me, and then there was me, and then you. Did you go to that one? Okay. That's what I thought, because I was like, obviously you were still in school because you were there a year behind me. Because I was like, I know I remember her being there. I'm sorry. The memories are all muddled now. Like, I know I remember y'all being there. And then you and I did for my senior year, did the overnight stay at the Y. That was actually rather fun. I'm shocked we stayed awake. I'm shocked I stayed awake, actually. Her date was her current hubby. Hmm. They've been together forever. It's been a long time now. Hmm. And that was the same year, right? We've had a whole conversation. And her sophomore year was the same year we became friends as well, so we can gauge our friendship and her relationship almost in the same timeline, pretty much. Hmm. I know. I don't know who sold me this oven, but it's garbage. Which means we've been friends for 18 years then, right? Is that right? Is that where we're at now? Are we at 18 years? 19. I love how I just keep losing track and then you remind me and I'm like, I'm glad to be your friend, but the fact that it's been that long, I'm just like I just keep going, no. There's no way. Mm-hmm. Like my brain just keeps going, no ma'am, there's no way we're that old. Right? That's crazy. My brain just keeps going like, no way we've been adults that long. That's just not right. Well, screw you too, ma'am. Jeez, all the stuff that you wanted's on there. But yeah, I can't believe it's been that long. But I will say, and I don't want to get too sappy on here, but you know how they talk about, like, platonic soulmates, you know? I really feel like I found mine with Spirit because we have, and I don't know, hopefully she would agree, but I'm not putting pressure on anything, so she doesn't have to answer. But I know for me, like, our friendship is the best friendship that I've had in my entire existence. Like, it's been the most, I'll say it like this, it's been the most compatible friendship I've had in my life. Because she and I have, I'm sure, disagreed on things, but we've never had arguments. Ever since we decided we were going to become friends, we've never had those instances where, like, we were fighting and we didn't talk for X amount of time. Like, that's never happened. I'm sure we annoy each other on the regular. Like, that's that's expected. But, like, we've never had anything happen so bad where it's just like, I don't want to be your friend for a while, or I've decided to, yes, that's exactly right. I've decided I want to dispose of this friendship. We turned out to be very compatible, which I always laugh at, considering, like, how we met and, like, the backgrounds we come from. Like, if you were trying to match people up, I think a lot of people, like, if we were to give traits of ourselves back then and be like, would these two people be compatible as friends? People would be like, I feel like people would think that it wouldn't work, but somehow it did. And it just so happens to be this awesome thing, but I'm so fortunate. And it's so funny because I have a best girlfriend, which is her, and then I have a best guy friend, which is her husband. So it's just this absolutely perfect, this absolutely perfect harmony situation that happened in our lives. But yeah, especially with her in particular, like, we just turned out to be very compatible. So it's very lovely, and I bet, like, the only thing I wish was different is I wish we'd met earlier in life, because it would have saved me. Um, it would have saved me from probably the many not so good best friends that I had that I trusted that I shouldn't have if I had met her earlier in life. But at the same time, you know, maybe we wouldn't have been as compatible if we'd met earlier in life. Maybe we needed to be the people that we were by the time we got to high school before that worked out. Who knows? But that is a testament to have known her for that long, and we've never. Mm-hmm. It was just fate. It was like, you two need to be together. And I'm glad I found my husband, don't get me wrong, but, like, if I had never ended up getting married or anything, it's just like, at least I have my best friends, and they happen to be married to each other. I was gonna say, she was too. Spirit was a Catholic school girly back in the day, which is why we did not go to the same middle school and or the same elementary school and didn't meet till high school. Yep. Excuse me. So she was just in a separate pool of people until high school. And then we all got smushed together. Woohoo! Right. But now here we are, almost 20 years later, trying to start up a sad business together, living like 60 seconds away from each other, and our own adult houses that we help pay for. We're just out here adulting together. It's great. Hmm. That's exactly right. We're gonna be the ones everyone talks about, like it's those two again. It's those two out there causing trouble again. Let's buy some ugly clothes so we can get higher tips because I think we need it. Upgrades. I was in that screen before because that's where you get the apparent baking upgrade and a couple other things. The upgrades aren't horribly helpful in this game. Like they're not as great as they are in other games. That's for sure. It is unfortunate. There we go. Now we're in a more festive outfit, so hopefully we'll get better tips. Because I saw that pop up on the screen, and I was meaning to change my clothes last round, and I did not. Yeah, all the characters with their giant shoes. We've gotten into a very plethora of topics tonight, haven't we? Goodness, we've been all over the map. Anybody hopping in is probably like, "What in the world, man?" Da, da, da. Right? Probably jumping in like, this is not a conversation I know how to jump into. All right, let's see. Mhm. 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 All right. Something for every section. She just wanted all the stuff. Speaking of kitchen sink, I've heard kitchen sink cookies are delicious. I don't think I've ever had one, but I've heard that they're great. I don't remember what all's in them exactly, but it's a lot of stuff. Oh. I like that to some degree in my office. I can just chill. Right? That is a horrible. And there's not a button faster than that. Like, that is the button. It's just like, okay. Who knows? I'm wondering if you get farther along, like if more upgrades will appear, or if that's literally all that you get. Because if the upgrades that are showing are the only upgrades that you get, that's terrible. Like, I know I shouldn't expect too much from a game like this, however, I play a lot of games like this, and the upgrades usually aren't that bad. how this will pile if I just spray it and don't move. Just like that. Okay. Time to put whatever this is on. It did not lay the way I pictured. There we go. There's all the stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very odd. I would say that's my one major complaint about this game, that speed upgrade is not really helpful. Like, we all be sitting here having full-blown start-to-finish conversations while we're waiting for cookies to bake. That should not be happening. We shouldn't have that much time. Alright. To the dough station. I don't know. What topics have we not covered? What have we not talked about that could potentially be a 10 to 15 minute discussion, since it seems like that's how long it takes these cookies to bake? The weather. I don't think we talk very long about that. Unless you've had some really unusual... Ooh, pardon me. That snuck up on me. Unless you've had some really unusual weather. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I hate when that happens. You're just in mid-conversation and it just comes out of nowhere. Sorry. Makes me feel old too, because it's like 9 o'clock on a Monday and I'm yawning. I don't know how. I was talking to... There's an older lady that I really love that I work with, and she's always... which we're in different time zones. She's in Eastern and I'm in Central. So it's like an hour difference. They're an hour ahead of me. But I was just curious today, and I asked her, because she's always at work before I am, and I'm always at work at like 6:30 in the morning my time. And I was like, what time do you get on in the morning? And she's like, I don't know, between 4 and 6. And I'm like, good God. But she said she goes to bed at like 8. My problem is I just hate getting up early in general. So it's an achievement, the fact that I make myself get up at 6:30 for work, because it's funny, I don't have to. Like, I could pick a later start time if I so chose. I don't actually have a set schedule. But I choose to get up that early so I can get off at a decent hour in the afternoon. But like, I could not do like 4 o'clock in the morning. There's just a limit to how early. I'd be like 6 is my limit. Like that's probably the earliest I could make myself get up, and I would still be upset about it, but I could do it. Anything earlier than 6, like, absolutely not. Yeah, in all honesty, I probably should go to bed earlier than I do during the week. Because, like I said, I get up at 6:30, and then I don't always stay up this late, but the max I try to stay up during the week is like 11:30, and that's probably later than I should, honestly. You got pulled in that much, huh? That makes me think of that one day many years ago, and I don't think I've beat that record on another game yet. I think I've been close, but I don't think I've beat it. Where I did like a 16-hour Sims binge in like one day, and the entire day it just passed me by, and I was like, whoa, what happened? I just spent a whole day on this. Mmm. Well, that's good. I hate jobs that like you give them availability and then they get mad at you about it. Or like if you have to change your availability for some reason or whatever. I hate when they do that. It's just like, I'm sorry. I have stuff to do or stuff happened or whatever. Or sometimes it's for personal, reasons. I had a job a couple jobs back where they would always schedule me to close because I had the most open. Well, I left mine a little wide open. Um, but I know for a fact there were other people that also had it open and could have closed, but they would always make me do it. So I changed my availability on them. I was like, I'm no longer available. And I guess she got salty about it. That was a whole mess. That's a whole other story that would take many hours to go through. Mm-hmm. Speaking of food stuff, I was just thinking about it, looking at the cookies, and just made me remember. There's this video that I saw on YouTube, and it's like well, it's not specifically a cookie restaurant. I guess you could say a dessert restaurant, but cookies are the main focus. And I don't know about everybody else, and maybe I'm weird, but I'm a big, like, and I know some people find this gross, but I'm a big, like, white milk fan. Like, I just like milk. Like, I will just drink milk straight, like, not necessarily eat anything with it. I'm just like, I want some milk. And it's just my thing. And this restaurant, like, I wish we had this anywhere around. I need to look up where they are and see if we ever happen to pass through where one is. But, like, they had milk on tap. And it's just like, I'm sorry, can I have milk on, like, can I install this in my home? I want milk on tap. I love milk. So much. And like other than skim milk, which I will tolerate if I absolutely have to. But I'm like equal opportunity when it comes to white milk. I don't care what percentage. I don't care what. It's just like give it to me. I love milk, but I didn't know you could do milk on tap. It's just like really. I'm getting sucked into the cookie music vibe. Although I have like nights like this where we're all able to be in here and chatting and having a good old time because I try to think of stuff to talk about, but sometimes I need some help. Sometimes it's hard when you're just hanging out. Right? Speaking of milk, I'm gonna get a drink real quick. Hold on. 50 cents. And even that was probably too much. Yeah. Although even a nickel would be too expensive, I feel like. Ta-da! Oh, crap. Well, I just accidentally messed that up. Oh, that might have been a mistake. Hold on. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I've never pressed that button before. Damn it. I gotta go through this again. Oh, my lord. Okay. Story of my life. Oh, yeah, I love that too. It's like, if I was that important, do you think I'd be here? Like, if I was important enough to be pricing stuff, do you think I'd be here talking to you right now? No. I'd be in a fancy office somewhere. I'd be in a fancy schmancy office somewhere, pretending to do stuff all day. I hate to say it like that, but I feel like that's what happens a lot of the time. I'm not necessarily saying CEOs and managers don't do anything, but it seems like they spend a heck of a lot of time walking around talking to each other. Especially if we're talking about retail specifically. It seems like managers do a lot of sitting around and having meetings with each other and walking around talking and looking at stuff. If you're a manager that doesn't do that, that actually helps. Good for you. But most of the managers that I've experienced in my work history have been those kind of managers. All the credit when everything goes well. That is true. Man, I'm gonna look into this game and see if it, like, surely I'm not using this upgrade incorrectly, but this just seems not helpful. Like, it's speeding it up a little bit, but, like, I feel like this should be significantly faster, and it just isn't. It's very strange. Oh, yeah. See, that's not right. It's like, y'all are the ones that did the work. You should be the ones that get some credit for it, because you're the ones that made those sales, not them. They're not out on the floor doing stuff. You guys are. Absolutely. Oh, we got one more to get this lady out of here. second. Hmm. Give me just a second. Alright, that was weird. Oh, nope. Not weird. Just decided to throw a fit at the end of the evening tonight. Well, alright then. Well, looks like this is deciding to throw a fit all of a sudden, and I was going to stop right after this order, so I guess I'll go ahead and do that a little early. Because I was going to go ahead and let you guys go for the evening. Um, yep, it's being weird. So, on that note, I guess I'll try to get that to stop throwing a fit, but in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go for the evening, I think. It looks like, let me see if I can get my mouse here. There we go. It looks like, yep, almost 2 hours again. It looks like my husband Prometheus is streaming, so I'm going to pop you guys over there, and I hope you have a fine evening. I will catch you later. Good night, guys. That's not quite right, but yeah, that's fine. Because it glitched, so that's fine.